Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hello everybody.
I brought a friend with me.
You guys probably noticed by now that we're down 2 dames today. So Nomi actually had a little emergency happen literally about 30 minutes ago. So everything is okay. Don't worry. And Mags, of course, is on a little vacation. She's having the best time of her life. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on X. And she's posting a bunch of really lovely pictures. So yeah. But we are joined today. Of course, we have Dr. Rachel.
Hello everyone. Dr. Rachel here. Just got our good
And then
list
we have
of a lot of topics.
Yes. And then we have our guest. Thank you so much for being here, GHAL. So if you guys don't know GHAL, you guys need to go and check her out on Twitter too. Follow her. She's super awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So if people don't know who you are, tell them, let them know.
Well, thanks for having me. This is awesome. This is also my cat, Snow. He wanted to be here too, so here we are. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, YouTube. I stream every Thursday, technically at this time, because it's really hard to not stream over someone somewhere. But yeah, I'm here. I'm alive. You can normally find me on like Bet's Talkin' and Dermy Wormy's channel. I do produce for that. And basically just follow me on Twitter and I share it all around, just like I shared this. So I'm happy to be here.
Yay. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we actually have a surprise guest that we're gonna bring in right now, and it's Devil made me do it. So Devil, if you want to jump in.
Hello.
Yay! All right. So if you guys didn't know and you're living under a rock, the FNT meetup in Vegas happened last week. And we're going to go ahead and let GHAL and Devil kind of tell us a little bit about what happened at the event. So take it away, guys.
It was awesome. Like, it was probably the best meetup that I've been to so far. I've been to a number since like 2022. And like this one, it was just amazing because people started like to grow their channels. And I actually told Gary and Jeremy this when like I was able to get to them in line and everything. Like they're kind of like the giant umbrella with like everybody else that's kind of just under it, with the Fellowship, the 199, Ripiverse, like all these different offshoots have taken place where we have so many different online friends, and a lot of them were there to where we got to like do things just not to do with all the bigger channels. Like it was just us hanging out as friends. Like we went shooting with ABF because he don't miss, and he did not miss with what he brought with him. It was as big as me. So I was super excited to shoot that 50 cal, I'm just saying. But it was just a great overall experience because like, it was spontaneous stuff going on. The first, like all 3 nights of the meetup, I hung out with kind of like different groups of people that like some of the same people, but bye Lily.
What happened?
She's like, oh, I wasn't there. But yeah, no, it was just an overall great experience. I got to meet Devil for the first time. It was awesome. And it's just, I loved it so much. And I just feel like got friends for life type of feelings. So Lily, just her computer went on the fritz. She will be back as soon as she can.
But yeah, I feel the same way. The meetup was amazing. I went last year. It was fun, but this year was something different. Like I said, we all stayed at pretty much the same place. We all, at least in the general area. So we literally had lunch, breakfast, dinner every day together. We hung out together, did everything together. So it really kind of became more of a family feel to it. And to the point where a lot of us, after we had to go home, really missed each other. Like really felt so that's definitely something I hope continues from here on out, is the group coming together for meetups, if not all of them, at least the Vegas one. And just
we actually kind of started a little Discord, like because we had like a group chat on Twitter for a bunch of people we knew were going to Vegas, and now we kind of have this Discord for the fellowship, and it's like fans of all the different channels, and it's kind of for us to just organize our own meetups, not just rely upon the FNT, the GNG. Like there's a bunch of people out here in Colorado, like we could organize just mini meetups places. So yeah, that was really cool. We started doing that, so we've been like sharing that around too. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, if you grab it, we can put it in the chat and let
Figure
people
out how
see if
to
they want to join. And yeah, so it was it was something. It was, like I said, you really I even now, even though we're how many days past it?
It's been a week since like the last meetup.
Yeah, I'm still feel like I'm not back to my normal kind of setup yet. I still feel like I should have people. I'm saying, hey, are we gonna hit the lunch spot? You know, like it's just weird.
Yeah.
How attached the group got in such a short period of time. But that's how it is when you're YouTubers. You know, we're all like part of the same thing. We all have that common kind of connection, and it really showed with how quickly we all became such good friends.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of crazy stuff going on. Maybe we should bring a couple videos up, embarrass one of our fellow YouTubers.
Definitely.
About his multiple performances.
Oh, speaking of it, product placement.
Yeah, there you go. Now you all know who we're talking about. But there's one. Let's share this one first. You guys see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You see it.
Such a great image.
Yeah.
I had to live vicariously through Twitter.
What is wrong with him?
He's got a special talent.
We're playing all of this up to 15. He's gonna sing the Christmas.
Oh, we're doing this? Okay.
Look at her eyes. She's like,
If anything, Ryan should have pulled a guy in. He seems to know the girl part better.
What's that hand shit?
I think he secretly loves being the life of the party.
He knows it so well too.
Like he sings it in his mirror every day or something.
Oh yeah, this is his bathtub song.
Beautiful.
That saxophonist is amazing. He was there every night for the meetup, and he just played all night. It was great.
What's his name?
I did not get his name.
Man,
I saw him when he was leaving the third night because he had an actual gig to get to.
Oh, wow.
I'm genuinely happy because there's nothing I will ever do that will be as gay as that. Like, I'll never even come close. But we have more because, Ryan's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see this one. All right. And...
Just all in on Disney.
Yep. Back in the good old days when Disney wasn't modern.
And there's Dermy.
All the Navy guys know all the words to that song.
All the Navy guys know the words to
I'm surprised
okay.
he wasn't singing in the Navy.
Did that guy only know like Disney tunes?
songs? I don't know. I feel like there was one that wasn't a Disney song that Ryan sang, but I can't remember for sure on that. Yeah.
Because if he's seen out there like trying to actually play some good music, and Ryan keeps going, do you know the theme from Lion
you're
King?
talking about Ryan, not the saxophone.
No, so, like that's what I'm saying. Is the reason Ryan's singing these is because that's all the saxophone dude knows, or is Ryan actually asking for this shit? Because, damn, dude, like really, like when I have a couple drinks in me, I sing. We got somebody. Hey, Sevvy, what's up?
Sevvy.
I'm kind of having to run the show at this particular moment, but Lily will be back. But yeah, if when I get drunk, I've never said, I really want to sing Disney music. Right now, ooh boy, that's what I'm thinking about. So it's just like I just want to know, is this Ryan's head or the saxophone guy's fault? Either way, we have more.
It was probably a combination thereof.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Hold on. We can bring back Lily. There we go. She's back.
Hey, Lily.
Yay!
I will be there on the bottom. There we go.
Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
All right. Let's do the last video real quick, and then we're done with Ryan's awful performances.
Oh no!
Yep, this is the last one. All right, that's here.
This is a good one.
Yes, this is another one, I think.
Not gonna lie, I'm glad I wasn't out here for any of these because I probably would have been singing along. These are like all my favorite Disney songs.
Makes me wish I'd gone to Vegas this year.
Does Ryan have a pet? Does anyone know?
What?
Like a dog or a cat?
I don't know. I can ask him if you're really curious.
Sevvy. Ask him, Sevvy.
That was pretty gay.
Are you basically saying he needs a hobby?
No. I think I want to know what to feel sorry for if that's what he does.
He sings
every
to his
day.
pets.
Yeah,
It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. Besides, like when I've gone singing karaoke and I love singing karaoke, I cannot carry a tune. I'm the worst person ever. But I just got out there and I just like have a lot of fun. So I have to give him a lot of credit for doing that. Because that would be me too. Except I would be worse because like my voice would be breaking. Nothing would make sense. I wouldn't even know the words, so I would make up my own words. Like literally, that's me, and that's me without drinking anything.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense by saying that.
We actually went to karaoke on the last night, and everybody wasn't singing, so I decided I'll get up there and I'll be the first one. I'll do it.
Let's
so
go.
I sung Margaritaville because it's a song I know by heart, so I was all hell. Why not? And then the only girl I think who went up there and sung was Nomi. She went up and sung.
I sang backup.
Gal wussed out.
I never said I was gonna sing a damn thing, so I didn't wuss out or nothing.
She cowarded it.
It's fun. It's fun stuff. You just go there and you have fun, and like if you think about it, I mean when during the main event stream. When I was talking to Ryan, Ryan even said like just most people don't even go up there. Yeah. Period. So
is that you, Shadow?
It is Shadow.
I like to dance. So that's what we did. Like people, they would do their karaoke. I'd be on the dance floor dancing to it. That's what I do. I don't do the singing thing. Like I can, but I don't know.
She didn't get up and dance for me. Like when I went up and actually sung my song, there was a
gonna
drunk
dance
dude.
to Margarita.
There was a drunk dude. There was a drunk dude on the floor who's dancing to my song. He was all about it. He was like, "Oh, dude, this is the best song ever." All the girls were just chilling over there.
When
Then
I say
everyone else started
dance,
singing. They're
I'm
all
like,
up on the beat.
Salsa
Feel
or bachata or just rap music. That's my kind of dancing. Or I mean, there was kind of like line dancing.
You were up there
that
singing
stupid
for
wobble
Red
things.
Solo Cup.
So we were already out there, and
Feels like excuses.
oh my lord,
I feel betrayed.
and
I think this means he wants you to dance.
Yeah, I think so. Well, since it's turning into a party today, we also have Shadow that's joining us too.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, just making sure because this phone microphone is a little bit iffy. How's everyone doing?
good.
Good.
Pretty good.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Are you driving or something?
Yeah, but don't worry, the phone's like hooked up with a little magnetic thing.
That's fine. It's just that's what it sounded like in the background for the background noise.
Drive safely.
Basically, what happened was I was cleaning dishes at work. I get a message, and I think that's at a place that I'm applying to. I'm having some issues with a background check, and I want to make sure that's done correctly. I take it out. It's Lily, and she's like, "Hey, we need someone for Dames and Dorks." And I said, "Give me like 13 minutes, I'll be on." And I jumped in here, so I'm like maybe 10 minutes out from my apartment.
And Shadow's all like, "I'm a dame."
Yeah.
No, I don't got the legs for that, unfortunately.
You got the cheeks for it though.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not.
She's just saying you have a nice butt. That's what you meant.
Oh my
right?
gosh, Sevvy.
Totally. She gets
Right?
it.
She said cheeks. That's what I figured she meant.
This is what I brought him in here for. So,
So you guys can sexually harass him.
no.
See, if I didn't nickel,
YouTube,
if I didn't nickel for the number of people, for the number of times I've heard that today, I'd have 2 nickels. That's
Oh,
not
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say you have
Really?
5 cents.
Wow.
2 whole nickels.
So somebody else complimented your butt. That's what I'm hearing.
You see, they're washing dishes, and his boss comes in and says, "How you doing?"
Yeah. No. It was how you doing.
How you doing?
Have I complimented you today
it
on
was
your cheeks yet,
No,
Shadow?
it was a coworker, and it was like a little bit of like back and forth bullshit banter. It wasn't like anything weird.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It wasn't just straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have the cheeks for it.
I mean, seeing as she's been in a committed relationship for a while, yeah, I think it was just kind of like fucking around. Just messing around.
No, you think.
Yeah, you think. Well, you think. Just kidding. All right, guys. So I guess now that we're all not having technical difficulties for the moment, knock on wood. All right, so we're gonna talk about something a little bit more serious right now. So I don't know if you guys were scrolling through Twitter this weekend or the week of the meetup, but there was an incident that happened actually under one of Carolyn's posts. She put up a picture with her X-ray girl,
Kara and Gary.
Gary, and with Melissa, which is Gary's wife,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys get a chance to see it? Because I honestly didn't know what was going on. I think I liked the picture before all of the drama kind of started. So if you guys don't know what I'm referring to,
Here's the picture.
Yeah,
It's a great picture.
It is a great picture, right? Like,
honestly, what I think she should do is the next con that she goes to, she needs to dress up as like a sexy Mrs. Piggy. Like lean into that shit. She should do it.
This is here's the controversy is she put this post up, but here's what whoever this person is, don't want to really give him credit.
Yeah.
Decided to be a dick.
Yeah. So somebody just totally decided to be a jerk underneath this picture where everyone's just trying to have fun.
And then he tried to play it off like I was just putting her picture next to something. I wasn't saying anything about it. She handled it like
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right,
she
exactly.
did. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, you don't put things up like this just to, you know, not stir up any drama or anything. And then nice ratio, he got ratioed.
Right.
But I mean, to be honest,
Oh, she's really pretty, and I mean,
yes,
honestly, like I would
she's
just, if
gorgeous.
I was her, I would just ignore that, because I mean, it's like it's not. I don't think. Well, I guess I don't know if it was meant in a bad way or not. I got him dying.
Oh no,
Please be
Sevvy.
okay.
No worries.
You okay?
No, Sevvy.
Like, for example, like it's always a running joke with Erudite being the Kermit, and then people being like, "Oh, you should dress up as Miss Piggy." And it's like, no, and I don't think they mean anything like bad about it when they talk to me about it. Would they
Right.
say that about me? So hopefully she didn't take it.
She
bad. I
didn't.
hope
She
so.
kind of just took a shot back. She was just like,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
okay, whatever type of attitude. Like,
Yeah.
if this is how you walk through life, that's your business, but I'm gonna still be
Yeah.
me and bye.
Mhm.
Yeah,
type of
exactly.
attitude.
And she's amazing. And there's
Yes.
just, you know, there's a lot of people in the internet, and sometimes it's hard to say like tone when you write something because
Mhm.
you're not really reading it either.
Hey, Dom.
You know, so I just hopefully it sounds like she's okay, so, which is great.
Yeah.
But that was an excellent picture. I loved it.
I mean, you guys, it's because I think Melissa is really gorgeous. And if
Yep.
you've ever interacted with her, she's super nice to everybody.
He's so nice.
And
She's
then-
gorgeous inside and
then-
out. Like,
And then to me, I don't even think that's an insult because when I was growing up watching the Muppets, I was like, heck yes, I want to be as fabulous as Miss Piggy. She was
Yes.
always
she was fabulous.
super
Yes.
cute
She
with her
really is a
hair and her
queen.
jewels.
And that's why I
and
say
her
she should
dresses.
dress up like her and lean into it because she'd make a great, awesome Miss Piggy. Like,
Yes,
Oh man,
and it's not
I'd make
like the
Gary dress up like
attitude.
Kermit the Frog.
exactly. They should just
Uh,
turn it into a meme.
exactly.
But
Do it themselves.
the thing is we can't ignore the intent of the guy, and the fact is he's a little bitch. He's
Oh yeah.
So who
he's
exactly
a little
is
dude.
this guy? I've never seen him.
It's an
like
Eric July Ripaverse detractor.
of
Yeah,
course.
it's it's people taking their issues with one person, which is the Rippaverse, and
Yep.
trying to put it on anyone connected to him, even tangentially. Gary is just friends with Rippa. He doesn't work for Rippa. Rippa and him aren't financially connected in any purpose or anything like that. And then to not only have that much of a disconnection, but then to go after his wife,
Yeah.
who has absolutely nothing to do with it. She knows Rippa, obviously, but that's about it. It's just a bitch move. It's really
Absolutely.
bitch
It
made.
And
to
see,
make-
Hey,
and see, that's
Devil.
the thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing that like most of these YouTubers are putting themselves out there, right? Like we're putting ourselves out there
Yeah.
right now. So it's basically
Come at
fair
me, bro.
game, but people like Melissa, who just happens to be married to Gary, she's not really up front and center.
Yeah.
I mean, they're throwing shots at her. Why don't they throw them at Gary? He's the
Right.
one that's
Yeah.
more of the public figure. Like that's what I don't understand. If you're gonna be a little bitch about it, like
Yeah.
Right.
come at
It-
me,
well,
don't
no,
come at
it
my
actually-
salary. Like,
It actually makes a lot of sense. See, what's going to get you attention? Are you taking a shot at the king who gets shot at 10,000 times a day,
Yep.
or taking a shot at someone who's not getting shot at? It's like
Right.
to quote the Joker, if I say a cop's going to get shot or a truck of soldiers is going to blow up, no one cares. But if I say I'm going to kill one little mare, everyone loses their mind. This is going to give this guy may be getting ratioed, but people are noticing him a lot more than if he had
Yep.
just attacked Gary, because that's the norm.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like if you have a beef with a dude. Let's say me and Shadow had a beef, right? Going
I
at
thought
him.
we did have a beef. I thought you hated me for not including you in the first chapter of Pickle Stand.
No, I'm gonna set your fucking teddy afire. That's what I said I was gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. Beef.
Yeah, your whoopie's gonna be a flame.
Yeah, and then I retaliated, and we were going from there.
But the thing is, if you're beefing with somebody, that's one thing. But you don't bring, like I said, their girlfriend into it. If I have a problem with Shadow, I'm not gonna wait till he's walked away from his girlfriend and then go punch her in the ass, right? I'm not gonna fucking start shit with her and think that somehow that makes me freaking, I don't know, look good in any way. So I don't know where this guy thought his head was at, where he thought this was going to be a good look for him. It actually not only makes him look like shit, it makes all the Rippaverse detractors look like shit. It makes their whole thing look like shit when they have dudes out there freaking insulting ladies who are just having fun and attacking them on their looks too. It's not, it wasn't like he was saying that any job she does is shitty. He just attacked her on her looks, which is petty, sad, and pathetic. So yeah, I don't know if his side of things, how they feel about it. But if I was on that side, I'd be like, that's a bitch move, dude. That's
these people have no morals. So to them, it's an attack against the enemy, and thus it is moral and virtuous and should be supported. And if you act against that, if you do not lockstep with the group, then you are also the enemy. So odds are, unless this is like some guy that they can easily excise, which I don't know who this individual is. I don't really follow the Rippaverse detractors stuff that much, but unless he's someone they could easily excise, they're probably going to back his play because he is of the party and she is not of the party.
Yep.
Yeah, no idea. But it's also like not the first time that people have made comments on girls' looks either on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I know like people have made a lot of comments about me. It's like, whatever, dude. Like, you keep whatever idea you have. Like, I literally do not care what you think of me. I don't even know you, type of thing. So hopefully she kind of takes a similar stand, because my mom would always say, like, you are not a gold coin, so not everybody's gonna love you. So that's
it's the best attitude to have for it. So
the great thing about the girls on our side of things are they're made of tougher stuff than that. They're not going to get under you guys' skin as much as they would the other side.
I don't know if anyone has been heard about it, but like, for example, the Warhammer situation that happened recently, a lot of the women in the Warhammer community were like attacked in very horrific ways. Yep. Like, I just got a temporary suspension because someone from on a friend. Someone was saying that a friend of mine should have terminated.
Yeah.
Someone said that a friend of mine should have terminated her child instead of so basically the child was born with some complications and had to go through intensive care. For reasons that are not mine to share, the fact that the child made it through is very important to my friend. And she's using the fact of like her child's story to express why Warhammer means so much to her. And this piece of garbage comes out of nowhere and goes, "Oh, well, you should have just terminated your child. You should have just killed your baby." And like, just women in general on Twitter, and this isn't me trying to white knight, this is just what I'm seeing. Like, it's getting attacked consistently by these freaking cowards. And yet, like I remember, like, for example, Lily will often get some trolls, or Marzana, the individual in question, has been dealing with a ton of abuse over the last couple of days, and yet keeps on going, despite the just horrendous behavior on display. And it's freaking amazing to see.
Well, it depends, because the Rippaverse has two detractors. You have the Comicsgate retractors, and you have the far left retractors, the ones that spurg out on, because Eric's not, trying to do his own thing and not playing the, I'm
victim card.
Yeah, victim card. I don't know who that guy's part of, but if he's part of that side, if he's part of that group, he's a black man who's daring to go his own way instead of play victim. It's even sadder because it's another incident of those male feminists who have no problem attacking women, especially on their looks, if they don't have the right think. So that's even more pathetic if that's the case. But I don't know the dude. I don't know those people. So
I mean, it happens all the time because they're hiding behind their little avatars. They're not putting themselves out there for people to criticize them or their looks specifically. But yeah, Shadow's been there a couple of times when like random dudes that don't even follow me, aren't even part of our little circle or anything, just find themselves into my my posts, and they'll just say something super rude. And it's never about my takes or anything, just something super rude about my looks. And I'm like, what the
because they have nothing else to say, so they think that they're gonna dig the knife in deeper. Like, I'm right here. I don't care. Like, say what you want. Next time, maybe try to listen to what I'm saying and actually have a comeback to it where you might sound some sort of intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's happened to a lot of the ladies here. I know when Sevvy was here, we were kind of talking about it too, that like all of the creepy people that we all kind of come across, but then we get the other side of it too, where it's just, and it's always the guys. It's never been like women that come in and say anything to me. It's always the guys. It's always the guys that come in and have something to say about how I look or whatever. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. But I would say too, there's also a lot of guys out there that are super nice too, and that have spent a lot of time trying to build you up as well.
Yeah, it's not all negative.
Yeah, so it's not. So I wouldn't say it's not all the guys that are like mean or anything. It just could be that they're just the more vocal, you know. Maybe that's part of it. But like I've experienced really, really nice guys and then really, really mean guys, and you have to do is just block.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have a lot of these guys here. I know that a lot of them in our chats, they're on Twitter, and of course, Shadow and Devil. I mean, you guys are like super awesome. Smu, of course.
Bed Stalking says, I got so many trolls who show up to my show and attack me. Oh, wait, those are my panelists.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never said that to you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's the thing is with our group, we take the piss out of each other all the time on our own shows and stuff. And so I you know, yeah, you have to have a little bit of thick skin, but it's definitely when they're doing it for the trying to be mean, when it's cold-hearted. I think I've went at a couple people, mostly because Melee K, because she gets it so often for just the weirdest reasons. If she so much as says one thing that they don't agree with, they'll just start throwing, "Oh, you're a fat bitch. You're this. You're that."
And another slice of pizza.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's where I get mad. I don't get mad too much at people giving shit to the other people in the group because, you know, I figure we can take it. I know Dermy can. I know that I can. I know that Adam can, as much as he bitches. But when you see it happen to one of the girls, even though, like I said, I have all confidence that you girls are strong enough to take it, it doesn't change the fact that I feel a little more pissed about it, a little more hostile about it. So
well, because it is upsetting to see. Like it sucks. I mean, for me personally, I can say that even though I know I don't know these people that don't know me personally or whatever, sometimes things they say kind of just get you a little bit for a little while, and you're like, oh my gosh, that was really mean. But then you remember, like, whatever.
Oh yeah,
and that's why you surround yourself with like the right people.
Yep.
You know, like you surround yourself with people that have good vibes, good energy, that will build you up and are there to help you be successful. They're not there to be jealous. They're there to help you grow. So you just surround yourself with those people, and they will help. You know, in those situations.
Exactly. And speaking of finding people that are going to help you grow and make it through life, have you guys watched the TV show Fallout?
I have not.
No, you guys haven't seen
Never played a game either.
That's very cool.
I saw the first 2 episodes. I haven't played the games. I've seen some playthroughs of the games, but for the show, I only watched the first 2 episodes.
I played Fallout 4. But I've never seen any of the episodes.
I bet we can all guess what the huge mistake was.
What was it?
The death.
Oh wait, I don't know yet.
I was like, Epic Mike was trying really hard not to like say what happened, and then I can't remember, somebody at the main event like spoiled it and said somebody died. Everybody was like, "What? Why would you spoil that?" Like it makes no sense to me. Like I have not seen it, so I don't even know who it was. So maybe that's a mistake.
No, this is Forbes. They're calling it out.
Yeah, no, they're saying that this article in particular is saying that Fallout has been a really terrific show, but the mistake that they made was kind of the thing that everyone mentions on Netflix, how they put all of the episodes up at the same time so that you can kind of just marathon through all of them instead of releasing like one every single week to kind of build up that anticipation of,
they should do that.
Like what happened next week. So they're saying that, yes, it's a good show, but people are going to binge it, talk about it, and then they're going to move on to the next thing that's out.
Yep.
And they're
The
going to forget
binge
about it.
model. The binge
Yeah.
model
Yeah.
is so stupid.
From a
don't like
business
it.
standpoint, yes. And that's the amount of times the arguments in the last 2 days I have watched over the binge model. It's like two people are talking about two different things. And there's one person that is just adamant, and I want to just like, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, when Disney put out the Miss Marvel episodes like once a week, like I would watch it because the Miss Marvel like episodes were really fun to watch. Some of the other ones were not. Well, WandaVision was amazing, but when that happened, it kind of gave you the opportunity to look at it, see what other people on YouTube are saying, look for the Easter eggs, like go check out like what was said in the comic books, what was not there, right? Like get all that stuff there, then rewatch the episode, and then like you had so much more knowledge to go into the next episode that made it so much better. But like if you don't know anything about it and you're just binge watching it, I think like you'll miss a lot of the Easter eggs and you just won't enjoy it as much. Because part of what is really fun is like catching those little Easter eggs. At least that was what was fun for me.
See, as a consumer, I love the binge model. Like, I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I have this like quirk where if it's popular, I don't really want to touch it. And so
devil kick her out. Just kidding.
What the hell? Let's get rid of her.
Just kidding.
So I watched Game of Thrones. I binged it like in a couple of months before the last season came out, from like start to end of 7th. And I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
And everyone's just like, don't you regret the fact that you didn't watch it until now? I'm like, no, because I was able to binge it and I didn't have to wait for the next episode. So like as a consumer, I love the binge model. But from the standpoint of a business, it's not as lucrative.
Yeah, no, it's true. I agree with you like 100%. Whenever I'm watching a TV show like on Netflix, I like Stranger Things. So when it comes out, I'm going to binge the whole thing unapologetically. I don't care. But yeah, it just doesn't sustain it in the long run to have people talk about it, because look at all of us. Dr. Rachel's only seen 2 episodes. I've seen 5. Some of us have already finished it. So we can't really talk about it because we want to talk like spoilers with each other.
Yeah.
And we're not all at the same level of watching it. So it kind of makes it awkward for you to keep talking about it. And I don't know a lot of people that are going to be like, okay, well, let me just, not talk to you about it until you finish it, because you don't know when that's going to be. So I don't know. That's what makes it awkward for me, because sometimes I'll finish it and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to tell somebody about this. And like nobody's finished it.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm only 3 episodes in. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, also
someone needs to go.
Yes, I need to jump off because I have a stream over Geeks and Gamers tabletop that is gonna start in about 5 minutes, so I need to go and jump into the video. But thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Sevvy.
Bye, Sevvy.
going.
See ya.
She'll be back, guys. We'll bring her again.
I agree that, and it's not just that it takes the wind out of the sails of the show doing it all once. It's a flash in the pants like that. It's killed the kind of water cooler talk that used to be around shows. People used to, everybody in the office would be talking about that show that week. They'd all come around. Oh, did you see this? If you do it on a model like that, you don't get that kind of hype. You don't get that buildup. You want that, because if 6 people in the office are talking about it around the water cooler, then other people in the office who aren't watching it are going to start watching it because they want to be part of that. You don't have that.
People do watch parties. Like they can even do it like via Discord too. Like there's so many ways to watch it together that makes it more fun and gives it the longevity.
Yeah. That's how it was with Walking Dead. Walking Dead had literal watch parties where every Sunday or whatever it was, you'd have groups of friends. Oh my God. I really am going to kick her. She doesn't need to be here.
No, yeah, seriously.
Get out of here.
Whoa. Why did you kick her? That's an understandable opinion. It gets kind of bad after season 3.
She stays
That's
on
an
the bottom of
understandable
it.
opinion.
Oh my gosh. You know what? King Shadow too. Just kidding.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I like Negan. I like the saviors and stuff, but it just gets very the plot just kind of happens to happen after season 3. It's less
Agreed.
of they're surviving in the world and more the story's happening and the characters move with the story.
I do agree it
So it
goes
kinda checked
downhill.
me out.
I'm not going to deny that,
Yeah,
but
it does go downhill.
yeah,
After season 3.
It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely they've lost that since the binge model has become more of the market idea, that we lost this idea of hyping shows up and people getting excited about it and having actual fan built around it, fandoms. It might be the death of fandoms for all we know, because that used to be how you built it, was people hearing about it and then getting psyched about it and then excited for the next episode. Now you just get excited for once a year that whole season's going to come out. I'll watch it, I'll be happy for a week, and then I'll forget all about it till next year.
Exactly.
Like,
What
I know
about
some
you,
people,
Dr.
the moment
Rachel?
Sorry.
What's your favorite method of watching TV shows? Do you prefer just to binge it all, or do you like having to wait week after week for that anticipation?
I very much prefer waiting week to week. In terms of the binge model, like I grew up without TV. So there's a lot of shows from like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s that I completely missed. So I'll go back and binge those. And I think that's a good thing. Like you can have the weekly releases and then keep them available. So then people can go back and binge when they have the time to. Like GHAL was talking about, she went back and, binge these other shows and loved it. It's bad for a business standpoint in terms of revenue. It's bad in terms of trying to keep longevity of the audience. It's also bad for the culture, because then when you have just everything just farted out all at once, people
it's like a fart in the wind.
It is. It goes by so quickly, and then people are like, okay, well, now I'm bored again. What do I do?
Yeah.
So people can't, people don't have delayed gratification anymore. They don't have the patience to wait a whole year for something else. So all these streaming services in Hollywood have to pop out content really quickly. So then the quantity of shows keeps going up, but the quality is going down. So we're getting more and more bad shows. Yeah, you have a golden nugget every once in a while, but for the most part, they're piles of crap.
I actually miss the days of one season was like 26 episodes of something where you could actually have characters have some sort of arc where you get to know each and every one of them. Like Stargate SG-1 is one of my all-time favorite shows, and each of the characters are fleshed out and developed throughout all of the seasons. And I hate these like 8 to 10 episodes of things. And a lot, like even with One Piece, I liked the live action. I hated what they did with a couple of things because they only had 8 episodes to work with within the budget that they had for the special effects. And I'm like, I would rather have lesser special effects if you lengthened it out so I could get the full meat of the story, because this character arc was completely destroyed for Luffy because you don't get to see how strategic minded he is in a battle. He just won the battle and okay, on to the next one type of thing. And so that's why I miss it. You're not getting the in-depth storytelling that we used to have back in the 90s and early aughts and the 80s. Like there was, I don't know, it was a beautiful storytelling versus rushed and like money grubbing storytelling.
I feel so
they don't have the time to like flesh out characters, flesh out story. They're just like, all right, we'll pop out, a half-assed story and then rely on the special effects to dress it up.
Yep.
And that's why you only get like 6, 7, 8 episodes.
That was always the best thing about TV.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I've been going back watching a couple of like old shows. Like I started watching Farscape. And it's such a fun show, and there's so many episodes per season that I was so excited because I was like, yes, this is gonna take me a while to finish it instead of like 4 seasons with 8 episodes each. I'm like, no, that's not.
Highly recommend Stargate SG-1.
I'll probably start that one after too. But yes, you get to see who these characters are. They're in different situations. You're not panicking because you're on episode 7 and you're like, oh my gosh, how are they gonna like wrap all of this up? Like so many loose ends.
There's so many things we're missing. Yeah.
That's why I think they mentioned
especially like kind of piling off. So you could have like the season arcs where like they start off different and then they kind of shift towards the end of the season. But then you also have the series arcs where over the like you have enough time for them to be completely different people. Like using the Farscape example, John Crichton becomes a completely different man by the end of the series. I'm not going to get into spoilers because I know Lily's watching, but if you watch episode 1 and then watch like the last couple of minutes of Peacekeeper, or watch the Peacekeeper Wars.
Rewatch that.
2 completely different characters, but when you watch the journey, you can see why he goes from like relatively normal, very intelligent guy to who he becomes in the end. And you don't really get that when you have like Gal mentioned, you don't get that anymore when you have like the 8 episodes. Even if you have an hour per episode, when you also try to do the Game of Thrones model of 50 different characters that you need to care about, you don't get enough time to really get involved with these characters because you can't sit down. Or when you have a show like Ahsoka, they don't spend enough time with the characters. They just sit there and stare at each other and don't really do anything because they need to pad the runtime to make it an hour because they don't have enough content to make a 20 episode series, but they also don't have enough content to make an hour-long episode for each. And
Can
it
we
just
talk
really
about
sucks.
Sorry. There was something that you said, like, in modern writing, I hate how much they undervalue a good redemption arc.
Oh yeah.
They just ignore it.
Fucking thank you.
I love a good redemption arc. Like, who doesn't? Like, it's someone that lacks character in the beginning and is just this terrible person, has no values, and then some cataclysmic thing just slowly builds them into a better person, and in the end they're like your favorite character because they just have this love for someone or something that made them into a better person that saves the planet, like saves the universe, like saves a baby, like something.
What I find really funny is they're accidentally making those kinds of characters.
All the characters are getting messed up too because that's how I feel about villains. Make villains just bad. I don't want to feel sorry for the villain. I don't want them to be misunderstood. Make them be bad and so bad that you're like, dang, that's a good villain.
What's wrong with the lovable villain?
No,
but they have to be representative now, Lily.
No,
nobody can be pure evil.
And
actually, no. What I find really funny,
some of us are misunderstood.
No,
okay, like maybe I've read that book.
Like
you are
1
not
in 100, but
no. That's so funny because like that's the opposite side of the same coin for me because I need a good villain that is irredeemable. Like I love a good redemption arc, but I also love like that evil person that cannot be forgiven.
Make them bad.
Yep, because there is going to be someone out there that is just completely irredeemable. You cannot change them. They are broken. And that's okay. It's a part of life. But they don't want that. Sorry, I cut you off, Shadow.
Yeah,
no, it's fine. What's really funny about that, and Arch, formerly Arch Warhammer, made a very, very good video kind of breaking this down. They are trying that. Characters like Balin Skull, Adam from Hazbin Hotel, Soldier Boy, Homelander. These are attempts at irredeemable villains that you should not be able to relate to. But because of the fact that the main characters are so unlikable due to the worldviews of the writers, like Starlight, for instance, from The Boys, is supposed to be a good moral person who, spoilers, murders an innocent man and then goes, you know, I don't feel anything about it. I don't care that he's dead now. Or you have, in the Ahsoka show, where you don't have a reason to care about Ahsoka, you don't have a reason to care about Sabine, you don't have a reason to care about Hera, so the only characters that have anything interesting about them are, say, Balin Skull. Mm-hmm. And the writers justify the villains every single time. In the case of the Ahsoka show, the New Republic is evil, corrupt, and is already failing. In the case of Hazbin Hotel, the main character is trying to save demons, is trying to argue that demons, murderers, rapists are good people who just need a chance to be better. In the case of The Boys, the main characters just butcher and torture and make innocent people suffer for their own personal vengeance, and they masquerade it as, oh, we're trying to make the world a better place, but it's all for personal vendettas. So yeah, you're going to latch on to these villain characters, especially when you, in my case as a young man, I can relate to a lot of these characters more because they're actually struggling, and I understand what it's like to kind of struggle in that sense. I'm gonna stop there because it's a longer discussion point. I recommend Arch's video because it's very, very good.
The writers don't understand that they're going to push people to root for the bad guy because they're writing the bad guy with a better story. Because your heroes are not supposed to be the ones that don't give a crap about any morals. And that's what it turns it into is, well, you're gonna root for Homelander. You might as well, because he's being treated like shit when y'all are the ones out here murdering people. I haven't seen The Boys, but that's just my understanding of the interpretation.
Well, that's happening in a lot of the different things. Look at how they people are interpreting the Barbie movie. You know, Ken's supposed to be the bad guy. You know, they're the sexist and stuff like that. At the end, you're rooting for him because you're like, no, actually, they're the ones being oppressed by the Barbies. You know, they have. So but that's just their backwards way of thinking. Writers now these days, they can't see heroes and villains how we see them, where there's a moral line of good and evil. They can't see that because all their stuff is so mixed up that line is blurry to them. So they end up having where they're making heroes out of villains and villains into heroes, and it's all ass backwards. And that's just the way we're going to have it till they get their shit together.
And I have to bring it up. That's why I was so excited during Dune 2 when they made Fade Rada absolutely the worst and he was just a villain. I was like, finally, there wasn't anything about him that you were like, oh yeah, no, these are like redeeming qualities. Deep down, he's actually a very good person. It's like, no, he's a villain and that's good. Just keep him that way.
I'm not going to lie. I really dislike that movie.
Oh, GHAL.
Because the Devil already knows this. I've ranted about it, but like the third act of that movie destroys the movie. Like it's a beautiful movie. It's a decent story going up to it. I don't know any of the lore. I'm going into it completely new to everything. Dune Part 1, I was good with.
That's good.
The Dune Part 2, Chani's character thoroughly pisses me off because she goes through this, like, she flips a switch and she's just mad about everything, and then girl boss moment at the end, which is whatever. I was pissed about everything before that, and then I was just like, yeah, bye, whatever. You're gonna go screw off, when you should be understanding your place in the world and his place in the world. Like that. Her character choices made me so mad.
No, yeah, you're
because that's not Chani. That's Zendaya playing a modern woman.
Not what she's like in the books at all.
Yeah, well, and that I learned that after.
Yeah,
I was so mad about it.
Is the way she is in the books, actually. So they changed that, and it's very annoying. Yeah. And there were actually articles that were being written about that Dune didn't get to $1 billion because of word of mouth, that people were talking about how awful Zendaya's character was.
Yeah.
And that they were like, no, she's like your typical modern independent woman, whatever. And that part of the story kind of sucks. So
there were some things like in the first 2 acts that I was fine with. Like, she's lived this way her whole life. I'm okay with her teaching him the ways of the Fremen. Like, that makes sense to me, whether it happened in the books, whatever, you know, for someone who is a complete noob, didn't watch any of the movies or anything. Like, literally 2021 was the first experience I had of Dune. And I could not get behind her. They rushed the third act. I was confusing what was going on and how people got where and why they were places. And she's the one that talked him into going to the place. Like, she was the last person he spoke to before he spoke to what's his face, the guy that he killed. But like, yeah, it was so frustrating to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then
speaking
of strong independent women, so I don't know if you guys saw the video game that's supposed to be coming out, Star Wars Outlaws.
The
ChatGPT.
The controversy surrounding the main character and how she's not very pretty.
I think this is the one that they were talking about, or was supposed to be connected to that. I'm not sure though. Is that what you wanted us to talk about?
Yeah, it should be like a little bit towards the bottom where they're actually comparing what the actress or the performer that the character is supposed to be modeled after versus what she actually looks like in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, so
like,
there
does
she
that
is.
look
Just
like
even
the same
that.
person?
Right.
As that? No.
They're trying to create all these androgynous characters. So they've attacked what is it? Not misogyny,
Stellar Blade.
no, male toxicity, the
Well, the
toxic
male
masculinity.
gaze.
Yeah. So they've
masculinity.
gotten tired of attacking toxic masculinity. Now they're going to attack femininity. And
Yes.
it just irritates me so much. They do not want anyone to look good if it has to do with a woman, because they've jumped the friggin' shark with trans people. That's what this is all about. We have to make the trans people happy. So the men who are wanting to be women, they have to take over everything, and we have to be okay with it. And that's what this is. It's normalizing this. I hate it.
It's partly that, but then it also kind of it ties back to the fact that the other perspective, and this is why I kind of disagree with Devil on the idea that they don't have an understanding of good and evil. They have an understanding of good and evil. It's just they're coming from an absolutely liberal worldview, being they believe in equality. Equality is the thing that matters most, not merely just equality of opportunity, but equality of outcome. Everyone must be the exact same indistinguishable blob, or you are living in an immoral society. So if you look at, say, Maoist China, where you had pushes for women to debeautify themselves, to wear the same hair color as men, or haircuts as men, to wear the same clothes as men, to do the same jobs as men, and then for men to stop taking charge, to stop being the leaders of families, and to stop being masculine, so that everyone was the exact same. Because fundamentally, you cannot have these liberal, I'm not going to say Marxist ideas, because it's not just Marxist. You cannot have these liberal ideas, which are very popular to these kinds of people, if you have examples of people who are better. And feel free to hate me for this. Stratification is an inherent part of human society. You will always have humans that are smarter than other humans. You will always have humans who are stronger than other humans. You will always have humans who are significantly better looking than other humans. Henry Cavill is proof of that. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is proof of that. Albert Einstein is proof of that. And that completely destroys their perspective. And because they cannot change the way the world is, they will change people's perception. It's like room, I want to say 112, but that feels wrong, from 1984. The room where you basically get taken to, and then they condition you to believe whatever the party tells you to. Spoilers for 1984. They are filling media with all of this, like, just these mid to ugly looking people telling you this is what you are supposed to look like. They are giving you these weak androgynous men and these strong women, because when you take a weak man and a strong woman, they typically end up being about the same in regards to their capabilities. So they are trying to pull everyone to the same tier so that everyone is equal. But unfortunately, you can't raise everyone up, so they're having to make everyone pulled down, and that's why they're doing this.
That's how it's always going to be.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. And then even in the same article, they're pointing out the difference between I forget the actor's name, but the one who actually was the performer for Cal Kestis, that they kept him exactly the same. They didn't uglify him. He looks exactly the way that he looks in real life. Versus this girl that they completely like butchered her. It just
I have to say, if you give him a little bit of a tan and put a wig on him, that girl looks like you, dude. Shadow. I'm just saying. You kind of look a little bit like the
I feel like a lot of this.
I'll just put the muzzle on, then that's fine.
They're also trying to like demoralize society as a whole, because you're a lot more pliable to the government to control if you have no hope. So uglifying people is going to lower morale so much that you're not going to want to fight anything. And that's slowly what they're doing. It's like a social conditioning thing. And bring back tits and ass, man.
And Dr. Rachel, what do you think about this?
Hey, there's the brother.
I'm very much on board with everything y'all just said. It is very much a conditioning thing where they truly are just trying to get everyone equal, not necessarily to the point where, you know, some people should get more resources to help them, others should not. No, it's everyone's given the exact same template. Everyone should look the same, have the same weight. It's like the very, very, very extreme version of let's give kids school uniforms. They all have to wear the same thing and they can't stand out. Now it's give everyone the exact same body. Everyone is represented in all of media. Everyone feels welcomed, even if they truly aren't. We have to adjust all of our society to fit it. And I think, Shadow, you were saying this where, you know, people are saying, oh, we can't change the world, so let's change these individual things. In a way, we are trying to change the world with completely, you know, this fabricated culture of equality. And it's ridiculous. It's not going to last. But I am sad to see how far it actually has gone, how far we've allowed it to get.
Well, and look what they're trying to do to Sydney Sweeney. Like that one chick just complaining that she's not that pretty or whatever, that if she was like a producer or whatever. And also how they dressed her in Madam Web. They are hiding her assets. And she has assets galore.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy. Like
Devil.
They want us all in the same gray jumpsuits with the same shaved head, with no pigment to their skin, no differentiating features.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's basically what they do to a lot of these characters. Didn't they do the same thing now that they brought back the cartoon for the X-Men? That Rogue now basically her body's completely flat from
R.I.P. Rogue's ass. Yeah.
They nerfed Rogue horribly. Like Anna, that Star Wars girl, I think, was posting like pictures of like her cosplay, where it's like, yeah, a real woman does look like Rogue from the original cartoon.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because if you notice, a lot of the times they are sexualizing a lot of these actors in a lot of the movies and TV shows. But then at the same time, you can't have Sydney Sweeney actually being, you know, a woman and with all of her curves and everything, because no, that's wrong. You can't do that to the women, but sure, do that to the men, all that you want. But like for me, I'm like, no, make that equal. That you can make equal. If I'm excited to see my favorite actors like that, then a bunch of guys should be able to enjoy.
They should
like,
get
the
that too.
actresses too. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
The big takeaway from this whole conversation is bring back tits and ass.
Yep. I'm just saying.
You take anything away. Well, that's what I'm saying.
If guys are expected to look like this man, then we should also be allowed to expect Rogue from the original X-Men series. Like that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Yes.
No argument for me.
Look like Conan.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody, well, any sane person wouldn't have an issue with that. Like I don't have an issue with all of these video game women sometimes having very unrealistic bodies, but that's what it is. It's a video game.
Exactly.
It's fantasy.
The real world.
Hello.
I don't go play a video game to see the real world.
Exactly.
Come on.
I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh, sorry.
What? That if you guys remember that really cringe Dove commercial where they're making like women create their own like video game characters, and then the video game characters look exactly like them, and they're like, yes, because we're trying to be more body positive.
Like the wheelchair, and like the initial one they did where the character's skinny and beats the bad guy, and then she gets to her dressing room and takes the corset off and she's just gigantic. I'm like, honey, no corset that size is gonna do what that thing just did to you. Get over it.
No, that was so cringe. I'm sorry, but if I play a video game and I get to choose what I look like, everything's gonna be exaggerated.
Armor's meant to keep stuff from stabbing you, not keep chub in. I'm sorry. That's how armor works.
Exactly. And then sorry, Shadow, I cut you off a little bit. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. I'm talking way too damn much. But it's because like video games, movies, TV, like all of this stuff, it is our equivalent of mythology. We may not believe that characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America are real, but they are our inspirations. They are the ones who hold our moral values. They are the people who entertain us and let us escape from the drudge of real life. We want to experience the supernatural. We want to experience the exceptional. We want to experience the heights of mankind, despite our own physical inabilities to achieve those heights. And by removing that ability from experiencing that from movies, from comics, from games, you may make someone feel good that, I can achieve being a fat lard stuck in a wheelchair who can't actually save the world. But for those of us who are content in how we are and would like to imagine us as something better than we are, you are stripping us of that opportunity. And it for people who say that you want equality, it freaking infuriates me. I freaking hate myself in a lot of ways, and I like imagining myself as something better than I am. Don't take that opportunity from me by forcing me to play some weak, pathetic, ugly individual.
Well, and
Of
it's
course,
not
I'm
even
not a
just
woman, so I
that.
don't have
Like,
that as bad.
I see a female character that I like. Why do you think I cosplay? I want to be that character, right? I'm not trying to make a character me. I want to be that character. I want to emulate, like, I want that to be a goal. I want abs like that. I'm gonna cosplay that character. That's my goal. I'm gonna set that shit up. I love that outfit. I love the character design. Oh, okay. I don't look like that right now. Guess what? I can do the best I can to get that way. It's not that, like,
Yeah,
why is this so difficult?
Yeah, you imagine yourself in these characters in better than you are, or at least you see yourself in real life. You know, you always try to, you know, you don't make them look. You made the face you may try to make look like yours or something like that, but for the most part, body type you try to go for something else and stuff. And yeah, you try to see yourself in what you want to be, not what you are necessarily. Everyone has to deal with themselves every day. We don't need to do it in the video games too. You know, Shadow, all of his characters are heterosexual. And gals are always 4 foot taller than she is. So
one meetup, and Devil just thinks he's king of the friggin' world.
Yeah, no, and then it extends into a lot of other media too. It's not just the video games. Now a lot of movies, I'm sorry to say it, but they're putting in a lot of really not very attractive people in movies, which, I mean, that makes you think this is why actors and actresses are special in the first place, because they're the unique, rarest kind of people that are just beautiful, that are on the screen, that you're like, okay, yeah, I can watch this movie, like, okay. But now, I don't know, a lot of the movies are just picking a lot of really not good looking people.
You don't want to watch ugly people get together.
I don't. I'm sorry. I know what you mean. No, and then to that other point, that makes me think like, oh, well, then what's so special about being an actress? Then I can do it too. If like that average person is doing it on the screen too, that it's not special anymore. So I don't know. Yeah. But what about you, Dr. Rachel? I know you cosplay too. Why do you pick the characters?
And we've been talking way too much, Shadow and I. So
like, why do you pick the characters that you pick? Because they're just like you, or?
Well, I mean, my biggest character that I've cosplayed and the one that gets the most attention is Sauron, and obviously I don't look a damn thing like Sauron.
What?
But
yeah,
I know, shocking, right?
We're glad.
But no, I love characters that present a challenge, like costuming challenge, character adaptation challenge, anything like that. Like I could have done anything from Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, this is my first time making armor. I'm gonna go with the worst fucking one to try to do on my first ever time making armor. I'm gonna go with the hardest one. Learn how to make chainmail. Learn how to build an entire suit. Learn how to make a helmet. But yeah, like all these things, I love challenges. So I love picking characters that present some kind of challenge. I also love ones with really cool props, like the shield I have above my head. It's a full-size shield. It's about 28 inches in diameter. It's the entire scene from Beauty and the Beast, the stained glass window. I took 4 months to paint that on a freaking shield and put it up. So I love things that are super challenging to make and super challenging to represent. But I will say one of the other, thank you, Cliff, in the chat. It's one of those things you also like, because this obviously goes into what we're seeing with not just the trans movement, but everything in our culture. You need to recognize that cosplayers, they're not trying to put themselves onto the character. They're trying to be the character for a short time.
Yep.
You're not going to a convention being that, like dressing up as that character, being that character, cosplaying, and then you're like, this is my whole identity now.
Right.
You walk away from the con, you get undressed, you go back to your normal life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't keep going and make that into like a caricature of that character. Like, yes, you know, you can cosplay as any freaking thing you want and everyone will love it. You also need to recognize some body types, especially if you're doing like anime characters or video game characters, they're not going to be possible.
It's not realistic.
They just aren't. They're not realistic. So don't try to make it realistic. Have fun with the character, but don't let that character become your actual identity.
Yes. And then also, I mean, don't feel limited that a character absolutely does not look like you. Like I know Eric July was encouraging people like cosplay my characters. If you don't look like them, I don't care. Make the character yours and cosplay the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And I totally love that because a lot of people that stop them, they're like, I look nothing like this character. I'm not going to be able to pull it off. And there are so many cosplayers that I have seen pull off so many characters that it's awesome. So that's a really cool thing too.
So what you're saying is I should try to cosplay as Nomi from One Piece. Okay. I got
Nami,
Yes.
but yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like Nomi,
I'm like, Nomi?
I just say
Nami.
cosplay
Devil's
as
gonna
Nomi
cosplay
too.
as Nomiwithoutyu. And
I
then
am.
the next
That's
stream.
what the next meetup.
It just
Oh,
shows
boy.
up in like a wig.
Yeah.
A wig
It'll
of,
be like she'll be like
Devil
it's like
Without
looking
You.
in a mirror.
You're just gonna like look at each other and do like a hand thing too.
Yeah. Make a whole bit out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's not watching us right now. So
Yeah.
just surprise her. I'm like, just do it, Devil.
Devil comes through the door like on like a pair of Wait, Devil, how tall are you again?
No, I'm like 5'9", 5'10".
Okay, so he comes in with like a pair of stilts and like a wig, and that's just his Nomi cosplay.
Shadow! Oh my god! You just like burned 2 people with one comment.
I mean, how did they burn 2 people?
Hey,
No,
Nomi is like a
devil.
7-foot goddess, okay? That's not a
Exactly, yeah.
burn.
Exactly. So your average person requires stilts.
No.
Is it? I heard Devil say 5'8".
5'9", first of all.
5'9", 5'10". Like
Oh.
she's not too much taller than me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
she's
Devil.
not that
But-
much taller than he is. Shadow.
Just put on some high heels, I'd be fine.
I
Make my ass
wasn't
look
trying to
great.
roast you. I'm sorry,
Acceptable
man. I'm sorry, I
It's
wasn't trying
okay,
to roast
Shadow.
you.
It's more the fact that I'm white that I'll have to put on some spray tan.
Yeah, I was gonna say put on some
Just
like
do what Robert Downey Jr. did for Tropic Thunder. It's fun.
Yeah.
Never
And
before
I
we
mean,
talk.
we'll give you the pass. I'm Mexican too, so you get the pass. Do it.
Wait, so if I want to cosplay Isom, I need to get a pass from Larry?
Oh my god! Shadow.
I dare you,
Or-
dude. I so
I dare
Do it.
I have pictures of his ass walking in blackface through a con and just people looking at him like,
Oh my god!
just don't do like 1920s, 1950s blackface.
How about you not do it at all?
Okay, that works.
What if I do Black Panther so I don't need to actually put on the paint?
There you go.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Be the Ryan
Ryan.
Gosling version of Black Panther.
Yeah, you could just like
Yeah.
when you're in the costume.
Is a black skin tight suit and black mask considered blackface?
Well, they wouldn't be able to see who's in it. Just like he'll just have to walk more manly when he's in the costume, so he doesn't, you know.
Wow. Okay.
I inadvertently roasted him earlier. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then
That's
to
fair.
surprise people, just take the mask off at random times.
like,
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Holy crap, it's a white dude. He's gay."
randomly learn a few words in Swahili, and then just like take the mask off.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, dude. Just start
Yep.
going and watch them beat the crap out of you, man.
Okay, you guys are going out of control.
I apologize.
Speaking of learning a
apologize.
different kind of language.
I didn't
Did
say
you
What?
learn
learn
The
it, I
stream
said
never
learn
goes off the
phrases.
rails. What are you talking
No,
about?
it never goes off the rails.
Never.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Alien is actually back in theaters, guys. I don't know if you guys knew this.
I'm
This
excited.
is news
This
to
is
me.
actually
I didn't know.
this is actually
I need
Jed's
to-
favorite movie now because he
No way.
recently saw it like a couple months
Okay.
ago. This is Jed's favorite movie now.
Really?
OG Alien?
It's fantastic.
Oh, it's such a good
45
movie.
years. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
45 years. So it's the 26th. It's
Yep.
going to be in theaters. We were looking up times for
it
that
at the
Friday and
Alamo?
Saturday.
'Cause-
I love how Gal's looking up the times as we're
Heck yeah, do it.
Aliens is one of those real great kind of series because the first one is so much different than the second one. The first one is a thriller horror kind of mix. The second one's more action, but they both are just amazing. After that, you get kind of
Yeah.
Has
And
everybody
then you've
seen
got
it?
one of the
Panel?
oh, sorry.
Shadow, have you seen it?
Yes, I have. I've seen Alien.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
Aliens.
I
I've
was
also
about to
seen
say
Alien vs.
Yellow Room.
Predator. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, no, I had to watch it for film class because a professor tried to use it as a method of promoting communism. And it was
Wow.
really funny to hear him and some other students get speechless when I articulated that the alien did not represent capitalism, but rather the fear of the unknown and things outside of human control, because they didn't have a counter. It was really funny.
Well, yeah. How the heck? I don't even know. You're in a university,
Because you
of
have
course they're
the
gonna-
faceless corporation sacrificing
Of
workers to
course.
achieve some kind of goal was the articulation of, oh, this is capitalist. And I mean, yeah, you could articulate that if you're coming from the perspective of someone who's only ever read a certain book from the 1860s, I believe, written by a failure who never held a job. But it's a really good movie. And I'm going to stop talking because I've been talking way too damn much.
No, you're good. That's why you're here. Yeah, I'm actually enjoying that they're releasing a lot of these older movies in theaters because a lot of the newer stuff just is not it. I'm finding
It's
myself
not worth it.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. I would rather spend my money on things that I know are awesome that unfortunately I missed in theaters because I wasn't around back then.
Yeah.
And this is a new way to experience it with like your whole family. It's so much fun. So
It's awesome, but it's kind of sad at the same time because basically Hollywood is sucking so bad that the theaters are going out of business if they don't do this.
Yeah.
That's what's sad for me about it. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But it's also a commentary on the times and kind of sucks. Even for the Alamo, like, they're selling the Alamo.
Oh my gosh. Well, if they would listen to the fans about the things that we actually want to see and actually want to, enjoy, they wouldn't be going out of business, but they keep giving us a bunch of stupid crap that nobody wants to see. And they blame us for going back in time and wanting to watch better films and better TV shows.
Yeah, because they're not listening to people in their reviews and everything, even though it's, just like all these times when really creative movies and shows were made that had good writing, good characters, good story, but not as much, on the special effects due to limited technology at the time. And then Hollywood gets less creative and they're just, rebooting everything and, making live action this and that, which everyone is clearly sick of, but they're still not learning from it. So they're so uncreative now that they have to re-release movies from decades and decades ago. So Gal, I'm absolutely with you on that. It is very sad to see. But at the same time, if the big wigs in Hollywood could just take a step back and be like, oh my God, it's not okay. We can't blame it on like coof anymore. I don't know if we can say the word still on YouTube yet, but we can't blame it on this anymore. We can't blame it on global warming or whatever we're blaming it on for people not going to the theaters. People are going to the theaters and paying lots of money to see these old movies.
Exactly.
Yes. So we need to take a look at why are these ones making a lot of money? And we need to do that again. We need to get back to good storytelling, good characters, actors who can actually act.
And can I just say, bring back practical effects, like Godzilla Minus One. Did you watch that VFX video that they put out? Like, I watched that thing 3 times in the theater, 1 time black and white. Like,
that was so good.
That movie. And the fact that it was just practical effects blew my mind. Bring that back because it's people who loved their craft and created the story and put it on the big screen. I'm very, very tired of live action CGI nonsense because it's lost the heart and soul.
It should be like the Fallout show or seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. The issues I have with the Fallout show are not at all its set design, its props, its costumes. Like, they did as much as they could with practical effects, like the power armor. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky because it doesn't have the exoskeleton holding up the plates, and so it's more like a lumbering animal rather than, just a suit of walking armor. but it still works so damn well. And the fact that you actually have like physical vaults and not CGI, or physical ruined cities and not CGI, is so much better. And then same with the Mandalorian. Yeah, like sure, the little lizard monkeys being puppets and not CGI, it doesn't look as realistic, but it still feels like there's some effort and heart being put into that. They tried to work with these quote unquote inferior tools to make something that was that good. And like Lily mentioned, if you go back all the way to Farscape, which was I believe being released before the early 2000s, it is even with the CGI, it is a significantly better looking series than a lot of the stuff coming out, because they did as much as they could with practical effects using CGI sparingly, only for things that they could not do with puppets, costumes, or what's the term for like the original Star Trek ships, like back with models, like using actual physical models,
like miniatures and
yeah,
stuff.
the miniatures.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So freaking good. And I'm glad that we're kind of seeing a return to that in the form of seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian and with Fallout. But at the same time, not enough people are really taking advantage of that, because you actually have to have talent. And unfortunately, Hollywood doesn't really care about talent. They care about optics. And they want to look, they care more about looking good and looking virtuous from their religion's opinion of virtue, rather than actually providing good products.
Yeah. And then just to add about what you said about The Mandalorian, I appreciate that they kind of blended the practical effects also with that big background that they had, the volume. But they also kind of need to watch out with how everything around it looks, because when they got to the Book of Boba Fett, and I think it was like all the other TV shows, everything looked too clean. Like you're supposed to be on the desert, and everyone's outfits are so clean. Like you can see all the lines very crisp and very like the scenes where Boba was out in the desert with the Tusken Raiders. It looked so fake. Like you could tell that they were standing on real sand, but the background just wasn't blending in and everybody was super clean. And I'm like, have you guys been to the desert? I'm like, I happen to live in one, and I'm not even walking through dunes or anything, and everyone's all dusty.
What's funny
There's a
about
reason Anakin hated sand.
What's funny about you saying that is like, I was having these thoughts with so Craig from Side Scrollers finished the Fellowship of the Ring today. On like he was doing a live watch thing on locals, and I was just thinking after they get out of Khazad Dûm, they get into the forest and they're just covered in grime and they're dirty, and the Lothlorien forest is just so beautiful, and Galadriel comes down and is ethereal, and they're just disgusting. And it's such a, like, imagine them being like the Book of Boba Fett, where they just don't look like they've done anything at all in their life. They didn't just escape a freaking Balrog. Like, they've lost the touch, and it irritates me so much.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they need to pay attention to that kind of stuff, because when Boba came out of the Sarlacc pit, he was completely intact, and I'm like, I'm like, that thing is supposed to be digesting you. You're literally in a digestive system. You should have some burns from all the gastric juices or something that the Tusken Raiders can help you heal or whatever, or something to add to the story. But he came out completely in one piece, not even his like anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, a lot of people pay attention to these small little details, and you would be surprised how many people appreciate that. Like you said, in Lord of the Rings, you can tell, like, yes, they just went through hell and back, and now they completely stand out against these beautiful, like, ethereal elves and everything. But
it would look weird. Like, it, like, just even your unconscious mind would question it. Seeing something like that. It's like the most simple person would be thinking, should be thinking at the very least, something is off if you're just being spit back up. You know, like, why are you so clean? Why is your makeup perfect? Why is your hair not a single strand out of place? Like, what, like, it's not believable, and it's just such a simple thing.
It's immersion breaking. It's
it is.
something that they take for granted now, but yeah, you have to have every little thing has to be in place, because even if you don't consciously pick it up, even if you don't notice it just naturally, your brain's going to pick it up. You're going to see that and it's going to look off to you. You're not going to know why, but you're going to be like, why doesn't that scene look right? And you're going to be, oh crap, how they just got out of like you said, like a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Just got out of a swamp and somehow their feet aren't dirty, their clothes aren't dirty. It's
some of it. I wonder how much of it is like pride of the actors not wanting to get dirty. Like,
I don't think it's. I think that might be part of it, but then it's also the fact that you have for a lot of these people, it's either they've never really had to try, and so they think like as long as they give an effort, then like they did the best they could. And then it's also the fact that for a lot of these people, it's not really a paycheck. Or rather, it's not really, they're not in it for the show, they're in it for the business. Or, oh, this isn't mine. This is just something I'm working on till I can do my own thing. And then I'll give a crap about what I'm doing. Yeah. So it might partly be the actors, like, with one of Lily's favorite actors not wanting to wear a helmet. And that was
going to be my point. Exactly. Pedro Pascal.
But then it's also, I mean, in the case of like the Sarlacc, like we know they use a lot of CGI. Mm-hmm. So they could like have a stunt double be the one climbing out, and then they CGI Boba's face on there. If they actually noticed and cared about that, or they could have given him an extra like 50,000 to do the shot or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's because they don't have I hit my mic. They don't care, and for whatever reason, and they're also not smart enough to think about these things. Right. Is another factor.
Well, I also
don't attribute to malice that whole quote.
I also think it's also just passion they don't have. A good director who has a passion about the project he's working on, sees it and stuff, he finds ways to accomplish whatever he's seen in his head. Like the first Halloween movie, there's a scene where Michael Myers on top of the car and he has to break the window with the nurse in the car. And they taped a wrench to the stuntman's hand so he could smash a real window. And not cut his hand up, because he wanted that image. He wanted that window shattering and that nurse, leaning down, screaming in the bottom of that car in fear. If you're a good director, you find ways to have whatever you're seeing in your head happen. Mm-hmm. And I think when a lot of these directors are not passionate about these projects, so it's cut, we got it, let's move on to the next thing. They're not going to sit there and go, oh, we got to redo that because these little things aren't working for me. I think it's just the movie industry is filled with people who aren't passionate about it no more. They just it's more about the paycheck, it's more about the message they're trying to send, and less about making an amazing movie that's going to catch people's attention for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And that's really sad, because you can kind of tell whenever a director is really putting the heart into it. Like, to go back into Dune, like Denis said, that ever since he was a little boy, he wanted to make this movie again. And you can kind of tell that, yes, there are some parts of it, like with Chani, that they changed her character. But whenever he's talking about it, you can completely tell that he's passionate about it. And he wants to make a good movie that's going to entertain people, and at the same time, keep in mind the fans as well, as much as he did, except with Chani. I'm like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that came from him or the studio, that they were like, we really don't like how she is in the book, so we're gonna have to ask you to change this one little detail. But yeah, versus someone else who's making something like Madam Web.
Right. What were they thinking?
Oh, it's purely a tool for them to push their message or to get noticed by someone else so that they can tell the story they want to tell, rather than actually creating a piece of art intended for the purpose of selling to the masses and entertaining the masses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully directors start figuring it out, and we get more passionate people making media that fans are going to enjoy. Speaking of fans that are probably upset, so we're going to be talking about Doctor Who, and then we're going to go ahead and throw it over at Dr. Rachel.
I do have to start off by saying I am by no means an expert in Doctor Who. I only just recently watched New Who, but I really loved it. And I stopped right before Jodie Whittaker because fuck that. There's just been so much news about this newest season, which is really just Disney Doctor Who. It is not Doctor Who anymore. The newest one is I don't know how to pronounce his name. Shurigawa. He's saying that he wants to have a dance battle and destroy a monster by twerking.
Oh my gosh.
Because remember how great that went with She-Hulk? Now he wants to do it. And he's wearing just like, I don't understand how he's wearing all these like skirts and stuff just because he can't settle on one look. Like all the doctors before had all these iconic looks, right? Like you could go to a convention and see someone dressed up, like wearing a fez, and you know immediately that's Doctor Who. They're dressed up as something and wear a scarf, you know immediately that's Doctor Who. A lot of the previous doctors had very iconic looks. This guy's got nothing iconic.
So you go to the meetup and you're all, oh look, he's dressed like Doctor Who. No, he's actually in drag. That's
right.
No, I'm a drag queen, or no, I'm just here representing the flag. But another tweet, I don't have the link for it, that came out was someone I think from the writing team had said they're going to do something new with this doctor and have 2 companions because that's never been done before. And all of us, like Jed especially, he's a huge Doctor Who fan, we're all just like, even people who
Amy
know very
Pond
little
and
about
Rory.
Doctor Who. Yes, like there's been so many
few
instances
episodes
previously.
with Martha Jones and the sassy girl.
Yep.
Rose Tyler and Mickey. Season I think season 2. Season freaking 2 of New Who. Rose and Mickey. This has been a thing since season 2.
It's been a thing for a long time, but they're like, no, it's never been done before. I can see Shadow getting all right off that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've enjoyed the show. I hate incompetence. I hate stupidity. If you're going to be writing for a show and your goal is to be, we're breaking we're making something new. We're pushing the borders. Do your fucking language. Do your research on the show that you are making before you do. Just watch it. If you watch it, just pick a random episode and you will know that there was at least one episode where the Doctor had 2 companions.
Yep.
The Jodie Whittaker season had 3. She had an old dude, diverse woman, and diverse guy. I don't remember anything else about those characters because they just existed to pop her up.
The problem is you have...
What's next? Are they going to say, "Oh, we're pushing the boundaries because we go to an alien planet. We meet some alien race"?
No, but your problem you're missing, dude.
We're going to change the shade of blue of the TARDIS next. That's never been done before.
It's the arrogance of them. They always think they're the first. It's the reason that you have Jennifer Lawrence saying there's never was an action movie girl in an action movie before me. You know, it's this idea that they always want to be the one breaking the glass ceiling that they never want to acknowledge has already been broken years and years before. So it's just pure arrogance and
fuck the glass ceiling. I'm so tired of that phrase. Like, shut up. It's not there anymore.
And
we
then
broke it.
over and over
that combination.
again.
It's that combination of arrogance and also constantly hiring people that aren't fans, that don't know the lore, and they're seeking out people that don't know the lore. Like a lot of Hollywood is specifically hiring people that don't know the lore and don't want to know.
Yep.
And
they just want the name. That's all they want.
They just want the name.
I think they had actually a article at one point when they first started Discovery, and whatever the girl from Discovery, the one that they all fawn over, they're all like, finally Star Trek has a black captain. Everyone, like every Star Trek fan's all like, are you retarded? Like, Cisco, you missed all of Deep Space Nine? That never, it's really sad.
So, okay, I've never watched anything of Doctor Who. It just intimidates me that there's so many different seasons and versions of it. So, like, what do you mean? Like, what is he doing that's like angering all the fans? that this
What isn't he doing?
Doctor.
God, it's so
Well-
hard to explain.
They decided.
I'll
I'll try. In the last special, they had 3 specials that were leading up to bringing Shitty Agua out as the Doctor, and they had it where instead of having the Doctor, because how the Doctor becomes a new Doctor is essentially when he is about to die, his energy rebirths him as a different Doctor, and that's how they explained other actors playing the Doctor over and over again. In this case, that's not what happened. They decided they're going to have a split. The Doctor essentially becomes 2 people at once. And so he's his completely own Doctor because they wanted to give him his own, validity. They didn't want to have him birthed from the other Doctors like it's been from the beginning. They're going to do it differently because he's different. And that was the first thing that was kind of a slap in the face to the history of the Doctor. But also they've decided to go a different direction with it. It's not so much based in science fiction and aliens, more fantasy and stuff like that. That's another thing that really, I think, pissed a lot of fans off. But also they're just leaning into every SJW kind of idea about him. He's gay. Yes. Okay. So we're going to make the Doctor gay. Okay. His companion is, I think, either gay or transgender or something.
Yep.
There's all these different things. They're essentially trying every single step along the way. They're going to find a way to put something in there that just is specifically, they'll say for representation, but essentially what it is to antagonize fans because they know fans are going to be like, that's not really part of the lore. That's not really part of the thing. That's not. And so it's just right off the bat, they're picking fights with the traditional Who fans, which kind of fits in with the, what they do with everything. It's all, instead of making something really good and saying, look, sorry guys, you don't enjoy it, but we're going to make something really good. It's more about, can we pick a fight with them so then we can play the victims, which is exactly what they're going to do. Once this comes out and everyone starts going, oh, it's awful, they're going to be like, oh, it's because you're racist, you're sexist, you're bigoted, you're this phobe and that phobe, and that's why you don't like this amazing show we've just created.
So was I wrong in thinking that I read somewhere that they actually did something with the female version of the Doctor where apparently somehow she was actually the very first one, something like that like also pissed off all the fans?
That's happened in Jodie Whittaker time. It was called The Timeless Children, I believe.
Yeah.
They essentially rewrote all of Doctor Who history. His origin story, they essentially revamped it, and original Doctor was a little black girl, and it, like I said, it pretty much spit in the face of all Doctor history that people have been fanatical about. So Gary, all the years he's been watching it, probably, and all the stuff he's memorized about the Doctor's history, the lore of the Doctor, all that stuff is absolutely worth nothing because they just said that doesn't exist no more. We've rewritten it. Sorry, it doesn't there.
From my understanding, what happened was a white female Doctor tortured this little black girl to figure out her powers, and it was stolen from the little black girl, the powers, by a white woman.
Yep.
For the other Doctors. That was the retcon they did. Some sort of commentary on colonization, reparations commentary.
So it is basically that, but it is so much worse. So so the Gallifreyan civilization, those are the Time Lords. They're the people who they're the ones who turned reality into something with consistent rules. They're the ones who wrote the laws of time. And they cast various things of primordial power, like Devil or Samael, out of the universe and made it somewhere that could actually be habited.
No sticks.
They were from my understanding at least, they are effectively the ultimate arbiters of good because they are the ones who made the universe how it was, and thus what they say is good, and what they say is bad, and they protect the stability of the universe by maintaining the timelines. Their enemies tend to be things like the Daleks, who wish to wipe out all things that are good or exterminate all life in the universe. by making the change they did, where the Gallifreyans only got their power because they took the Doctor in the Doctor's original form and basically tortured and studied and vivisected and perverted the Doctor, they gained the abilities to do so. So it absolutely is a commentary on colonialism, but it is so much worse because it is turning the ultimate, from my understanding of Gallifreyan civilization, I'm not a Whovian, feel free to correct me, the ultimate force of good in the universe into irredeemable villains. It would basically be the same as if Gondor only had the power Gondor did because it oppressed the orcs and made them into
don't
slaves.
speak those
to build up
words
the might
into
of Gondor.
existence.
Well,
Rings of Power is going to hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll do it.
yeah, well, that show is written by a bunch of talentless hacks who are actively falling into the trap of the devil by making the devil analog into a romance character for the main character. So, yeah.
And somehow they got a second season. Still
ESG
don't get
money.
it.
and then
Speaking of colonization,
yes, I'm like, you guys actually brought it up without having to mention it. Speaking of colonialism.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this topic about Lara Croft and
I
how
think
they want to
fix in
yeah,
the lore.
they have to fix it because there's something wrong with it.
As always.
Of course. Because they can't just exist in the form that it's in already. It's problematic and they have to go back and fix everything from
Can't
the
even
past.
have pixelated boobs.
No.
Right now, somewhere out there in the ether, Melanie Mac is shouting the F word really loudly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A few times.
Can I say the Melanie Mac word? Am I allowed to say that, or is it like the
No,
British?
no.
We're not that brave.
I like saying British meatballs, though. I like saying British cigarette. It's a funny
If
word.
we were 2 years in, maybe, but no, and it's Nomi's. No.
I know, Amma. It's Nomi. She's gonna come back and her channel's gone. Like,
all
no,
because I said bundle of
Shadow.
sticks.
Amma, let's not do that.
Yeah, no, I won't.
But yeah, I don't know. Have you heard about this, Shadow?
Yes, I have. I've only heard snippets of it because I am not a Tomb Raider fan. Despite the fact that I follow Melanie Mac, despite everyone not really liking her for reasons I kind of understand, I have not seen any of this. I'm going to leave my take with, I wish we were like Mongolia and continuing to build statues of our figureheads of people who we hold as important to our history or paragons of virtue, because they made a new statue of Genghis Khan, arguably one of the most evil human beings ever. Yeah, because he is like the nation foundation. He is their equivalent of King Arthur. They continue to revere him, and I wish we'd go back to that. Ignore the evils that are that the majority of our important things have done, like the Tomb Raider franchise. Okay, it's got problems. I don't care. Give us another game about Tomb Raider that is Tomb Raider. Make a different game. Make a different setting that you can use to talk about colonialism. Go do what Greedfall did. Go make another Greedfall. Do that instead. Sorry, and I will stop talking from this point on.
Impossible. Besides, you're a guest. You need to talk. But yeah, no, I saw this tweet and I went through the article and just, it's so ridiculous because it just shows they don't, in the end, they don't care about being representational or trying to escape the colonial past because they're keeping the name Tomb Raider. If they actually cared about this issue, they would get rid of that name. They would get rid of that moniker, but no. Like, well, we want to keep the fans and we want to keep the money. So we can't create an entirely new thing. We're just going to DEI the important parts of it.
Well,
Well,
it's like
what
this.
they do with everything else. They just use the name to pull you in, and then when you get into this particular thing, it's nothing like what you expect it to be. And yeah, if you're gonna take a lot of aspects that are in the original game, just make your own game. Call it something else. That way people don't get upset about it. But I feel like now a lot of these companies do it on purpose just to get people talking about it and make people upset because they're gonna get all of this in the headlines because now we're talking about it. All of the other stuff that's happening, we're constantly talking about it. And if they were doing things right, notice how many of the things we don't talk about that we actually do enjoy for the most part. I don't know.
Well, I feel like a good comparison to what we're trying to say here of make your own thing, Pal World. Anybody? Like you make
Converse?
I didn't even I called it gay and I didn't play it. Like I made fun of people playing it, but at least it was something new. Sure, it rhymes with, I don't know, something like Pokemon, but with guns. It's different, it's new, it's not riding the coattails of some other IP. And it was very successful. They're thirsty, they're hungry for new and original ideas. And those ideas can borrow from the past. It's okay to do that. Yes. Everything is influenced from our past. It is okay to have that. Nintendo, if you're listening.
Well,
I'm going to listen to you because everyone, just like Call of Duty will always have people buying it because the name, Nintendo will always have people buying it because the name Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is it's, and I know that it's not really either he didn't say it or he didn't say it in that context, but it's like they were, spamming when the Rings of Power first came out, that quote, the evil can't create or whatever, it can just destroy.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Anyway, I'm butchering it. It's the same thing. They can't create their own IPs. They can't create the magic that you see from other stuff. They can just destroy the stuff that's already existed, the stuff that we enjoy. It's the reason that they take all these IPs and trash them, because they're never going to be able to create something as amazing as Lord of the Rings by themselves. They're never going to be able to create a character as great as Indiana Jones by themselves. They can't. They're not talented enough. They don't have the passion about stuff that to make those kind of characters. And so all they can do is buy those IPs up and hammer them to death. And that's what they're going to do with this. They, another great game series that everyone loves, people are very passionate about, and they'll just rewrite it till it's nothing like what it originally was, and no one likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then at the same time as well, building a character or a successful franchise from the ground up takes time and effort and work. And do you think a lot of these people want to do that? No, they're just going to take something that's already established to insert whatever they want to insert in there and hope that it's successful. Like Star Wars with the High Republic or whatever. Like that's not even, to me, when I saw all of that stuff, saw their characters, kind of what the story was about, that's not Star Wars to me. That was somebody like inserting something they wanted to see into an already established franchise.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, do your own thing, but they don't want to work for it. They would rather just butcher something that already exists and not put that effort into it. Because, I mean, there was a point where nobody knew who Batman was or Superman, and now there's some of the most recognizable characters all over the world. You can go to a lot of different countries, a lot of different places. People know who those characters are, but they don't want that. They want it now.
Yep.
Yeah. Some middle of nowhere part of Saudi Arabia and show a person a picture of Batman, and he will say in perfect American, Batman.
I like how you said perfect American.
Perfect American.
Perfect American.
Classic should do.
Again, paraphrasing the boys.
Classic should do.
No, it's really not. I'm stealing that quote from a show, and it's a Homelander quote, so it's coming from a bad person.
Oh my god.
Really quick, I'm sharing the image that was dropped in a private chat of the game. Like, just take a look at this. She is
who are these people?
Backstage, and then 3 women, 2 of which are like mannish,
That's a woman?
like.
Guys, I'm sorry, but like the really chubby girl is not going to be able to hang with the rest of
No.
I'm sorry. I'm getting winded for her just looking at her.
Are you assuming the genders?
She's got a super high H. She's got she's the gunner. She's got super high HP, but very low movement. The third one in the row, that's right. A woman?
I'm pretty sure that's a woman, yeah. It looks like a woman.
Looks like a guy to me. That looks like a, for lack of a better way to phrase it, a tomboy guy. Like, like the look that tomboys have?
Wait, which one are you talking about? It looks
like that, but as a guy. Like Tunnel Rat from the G.I. Joe reboot.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a guy.
Brutish, I don't know.
Yeah, like a somewhat effeminate, but also still noticeably guy. At least based off the fact that the chest doesn't have anything going on, it looks like a guy to me. Is that sexist? Yes. Do I care? No.
Well, maybe it's one of those, innocuous. They don't want to really say, so he'll be a they them. Who knows?
Probably.
But you got the Rock's retarded nephew over here, so you got one.
Right?
I don't know. I think both the two on the end on the right are going to be they thems. I think both are androgynous enough.
Well, at least the one with the orange scarf is a Schrodinger's gay. Whether if you find that attractive, it's 50-50 coin flip on you being gay or not.
Schrodinger's gay.
Is that classic Shadoo too?
Shadoo's projecting.
It's like, I'm temporarily banned, guys.
No.
Only 12 hours because I told someone who was being a horrible human being to do something with a cactus.
You're banned again? Wait a second.
Suspended for 12 hours. I get my account back.
For 12 hours, that's not bad.
Because someone was telling a friend of mine that she should have killed her child instead of have it go through intensive care. And my response was, go do something with a cactus. And apparently that violates... I said something more explicit that I won't say on Nomi's channel, involving a meme that depicts me and a cactus. I basically implied do that to a person who told someone she should have killed her child. And that person's account is still up. Mine is suspended for 12 hours.
Of course.
Well, on a happier note related to children...
related to children.
Love that segue.
Yeah, related to children. So this is going to devastate women across the world. I'm surprised that it hasn't been a bigger topic.
Oh my God. Have you seen the comments for that tweet though?
I haven't.
They are filled. They are filled with, it should have been me. Everywhere. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Henry Cavill's going to be a dad.
Oh, I need to get that one. I got everyone but that.
Break my heart because
that's not a good thing for women everywhere.
It's still like sexy AF that he's gonna be a dad though. I can still swoon over the fact that he's now gonna be a dad.
I still wasn't entirely sure because it was based on an interview. Yeah, this interview where the lady was like, "Oh, you're gonna make a great dad with your girlfriend," and he's like, "Yeah, I can't wait for that." But I couldn't tell whether it meant they're actually pregnant right now because I feel like he would have made an official announcement, or they're trying.
Yeah.
No, there's pictures. They got footage of them walking out of this event together, and you can see her baby bump already.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So no, yeah, they are having a baby. I think I had put it in the chat. Actually, I don't know if it got lost when my computer.
Let's see.
So let me play it.
Yeah.
So good to see you. You were amazing in this film.
Thank you very
much. And also your mustache has been the talk of the night.
Right.
You win best mustache. So break
He
down that
always gets
grooming
talked about with
mustache
mustaches.
Well, I didn't know where to begin. So I just thought, I'm going to grow a wild beard. And I wanted to have a twirly-whirly mustache. And I was trying to do it. And I had a barber come in to fix my beard up. And I said, how do I get the mustache to do this? And he says, oh, you've got to train it. And I said, what do you mean by train my mustache? And he gave me this wax, and he says, just keep on doing this every day, morning and night, and eventually the hair will want to naturally sit that way, and all you need to do is just keep on tweaking it. And so I did that for 4 months before the movie.
Wow. Was Natalie a fan of that?
Yeah, she thought it was cool. Yeah. I mean,
it's like it suits you.
It's a bit of an interesting look, but yeah, she liked it. I miss it.
Who had the biggest romance on set? Because I could just feel the love between all you guys.
I don't know if anyone had the biggest romance. We all got along really well. And it was just nice working with people who are professionals and wanted to get stuck in, weren't afraid of anything. Because working with Guy can be a little scary at times. We'll have new dialogue on the day, new monologues and all sorts. Alex Pettifer had an accent change on his first day. And everyone just gets stuck in, and everyone does the job.
Well, you got another Henry Golding.
Yeah.
He's a super dad of two.
Yeah.
You're on top of your game right now. Is he inspired you to take on fatherhood in your next chapter?
I mean, he didn't inspire me to do that. My parents did. But I'm very excited about it. And Natalie and I are both very excited. And so, yeah,
Maddie.
I'm sure you'll see much more of that.
You're going to make a great dad.
Thank you.
You're so beloved. Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Appreciate it.
It's so cute. He's just so cute. He's like all excited and happy. It's awesome.
He's gonna make a great dad. They're gonna have the nerdiest baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Best looking baby.
Glorious.
Amazing dad, for
The
sure.
Imperium of
Mhm.
Nerds will
Short-armed.
have a true heir. We will
What
not have
Nothing.
we will not have a Henry from heir.
I heard you. I'm like, would you mind repeating it for everybody here?
Oh, sorry.
No. But yeah, no, there were videos, there's pictures of them. Yeah, you can see the baby bump. So Henry Cavill is officially gonna be a dad. Does anybody know if like Anna, that Star Wars girl, has reacted to the news yet?
She hasn't stopped drinking.
She's probably
Oh my God.
avoiding it. Avoiding the news.
Wait, is this the same chick that? Hold on, is the mother of the child the same chick that Anna was like freaking out about a few years back?
Yes, I remember she did a video where she found evidence that this was like not a real relationship, and a lot of their pictures on Instagram
Really?
were fake.
I
And
missed
photos.
that. I missed
Dude,
that info.
that's really bad.
Wow.
Like if you're so obsessed with somebody, you're fucking sitting there going, "This is not real. He's waiting for me."
She's
Well,
adorable.
no, it was more of like, if I remember correctly, again, this has been years, but I think it was more of like she was talking about how it was more of a studio thing, like they were trying to like do something with his
Spelt
image or something
something.
like that. If
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
That she was
Well,
like
they're
somebody
adorable together. That's all I
yeah,
know.
that somebody was working, that she was working for like someone in his agency or something like that, and they had kind of put them together to do that, to change his image or something. And a lot, I mean, Anna wasn't the only one. There were a lot of other people that were making the claims that, yeah, a lot of their pictures were photoshopped and they weren't actually dating.
Yes, there are a lot of girls that are desperate for Henry Cavill.
I mean,
The internet was a mistake.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy when she started like breaking down how he like the typing of his like Facebook posts or whatever it was, and she was like, "This is not how Henry Cavill types," and it's like,
Wow.
okay.
That far?
That's a little
Oh,
bit
that's
too
funny.
far.
Oh.
Has anyone warned him about her?
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
Probably.
does he have a restraining order yet?
There's probably a reason why he doesn't go to the West Coast anymore.
I don't think that's it.
They got a picture of her
It's just
in all of
Callie
her
in
different
general.
costumes. It's like a whole binder. She maybe look like one of these, and it's all like, Mystique, really? Just don't put it
Wait,
past
when
her.
did this information come out? Because I'm looking at it, and the only thing Cavill related I'm seeing on our timeline is 6 hours ago about the Witcher show and Cavill
It
not
was
being there.
16th of April. There's an
she's
article.
going through the stages
Yeah.
of grief right now. So she's in denial.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
not
I saw
happening.
this news
It's not happening.
yesterday.
I barely saw it yesterday too. I had no idea until like it popped up on my Instagram, and I was like, "Is this fake?" I even thought about it too. I'm like, "Is this photoshopped? He's still with the fake girl."
Wow.
I'm like,
Oh,
I guess it's not.
Apparently,
fake.
she's all for it. Actually,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Apparently,
I
it's
can
not fake.
share her. I can share her tweet right here, but apparently, she's all for it.
Oh really?
She's gonna kidnap that baby.
Let's see.
She's gonna cosplay as the girlfriend
Right?
and then like sneak in.
I know.
Just do a switch.
Guys, we love Anna on this channel. Okay, on this
Yes,
show.
She's great.
We're
She's
just
absolutely
Doesn't mean
great.
we're not going to make fun of her.
on her. Yeah, it means
I wish we'd make
we're
more videos,
not
but
gonna
yeah,
make
she's
fun of
great.
her.
Oh yeah, nobody is free from ridicule here.
Yep.
Nobody.
No.
Except Devil.
Hell yeah.
That is not true.
I mean, she's very pretty. She's pretty.
Yeah, she's adorable. They're adorable.
Yep, she's like totes adorb.
Please don't ever say that again.
I know. I mean, he
Oh.
looks happy.
Mhm.
Henry Cavill's a really good guy. You can tell that he's just one of
He
the good
cares.
guys.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Like he
I'm pretty
cares
sure-
about everything. You can just tell. Like it's not just, oh, he cares about 40K. No, like he cares about her. He cares about The Witcher. Like he's just a genuine dude.
Yeah.
No,
I think the
he's
story,
like
my favorite
sorry.
story about him that I've ever heard is that his nephew was apparently being bullied at school because he was telling everybody that his uncle was Superman.
Mhm.
And then Henry showed up to his school to pick him up one day, and his little nephew was super happy. He was like, "You
Yeah.
see, I told you guys, my uncle is Superman."
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And he made it a point to actually go pick up his nephew. He was
Yeah.
like, "No, I got this." So yeah.
You know, Henry is like the common man, like the average like nerd, with the body of an actor, and that has allowed him to enter into the world of acting. But he thankfully has not shed the just good person that he is,
Yeah.
and just like the nerdiness of him. Like I love the interviews when he like gets asked about Warhammer, and his like all the women co-stars just.
They're just like,
But-
they immediately slouch back, grab their phones because they know it's going to be a while. But that's what we love about him.
Well,
He's
when
so
they're
passionate.
smiling, but
and he
just
hasn't
like it
lost it.
shifts, and their eyes like kind of just like lose a little bit of glint. Especially like the
Yep.
Tom Holland interview, where like he and Tom Holland start talking.
Was it Tom Holland? Because I was gonna bring it up. Like I liked the
Yeah.
interview where it was with him and another dude, and like he was like, "What faction are you?" or whatever, and then they just start talking,
Mhm.
and nothing else matters.
Everyone
especially
else
women.
just
Yep.
kind of
Yeah. Did we
That
just
is
become
Warhammer
best
nerds.
friends?
Oh my god,
Exactly.
yeah, we did become best friends. And then Tom Holland is so chaotic too. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
No,
hoping.
Turtles
Okay,
is
so
like a
this is what we
excellent
need
author.
next. We just need like, you know how they have those celebrity poker matches? We need to have a celebrity Warhammer 40K match.
Do it.
Just do it. Do it. Please.
Be
The amount of
phenomenal.
God, I
money
would
that
love
would
that.
raise.
Well,
I
I know
want all
that.
of the
Money that
nerd,
would raise.
like Hollywood nerds, to come out of the woodworks for that.
You know how
Like
much they would
closeted.
raise if they did that as like a charity thing?
It'd
That
be
would
amazing.
be insane. Do it.
Mhm.
Billions.
No, honestly, they
Easily
should.
billions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll get if Warhammer like retracts its stupidity of the last like 24 to 48 hours. Maybe it would bring goodwill back.
Not
Oh,
gonna
they're
happen.
not
Oh, and
going
Henry
to.
was getting
Oh,
so
I
much
know.
hate for that too.
Yeah.
Like people
Well,
thought it was
no, so,
Henry's decision to do that. Like people were hating on Henry
Like
for that
he has
decision,
control
too.
over that.
Exactly.
Well, so I'm not defending the hate, but so apparently the reason is Amazon wants, so for Henry Cavill's show, or like one of the Warhammer shows that are being pushed because Henry was like, let's do this, Amazon wants there to be women in power armor. And they were given options like the Sisters of Battle or the Sisters of Silence, and they went, no. We want one of the popular ones. We want one of the ones that have all the miniatures. And Games Workshop looked at looked at their options, and they go, okay, we could burn our setting to the ground, or we can just burn half of it to the ground. And they decided the latter option, which is boiling the frog, which will lead to the.
Is there
burning
like
the
an
whole thing
article
down.
for that? Like, or is this just
It's
rumor
something.
mill?
It's something that I've seen been going around. I'll pull up where I first saw it. It's a 4chan Greek text. But I've seen like Arch has a video breaking it down, talking about it, and he doesn't usually talk about like rumors. He usually talks about like actual things he can confirm.
Well, I mean, it's still
okay,
not
here we
Henry's
go.
fault.
Oh yeah, I
No,
saw that.
absolutely not Henry's
Amazon's fault.
I'm just saying in a
Yeah.
roundabout way. I understand why people are saying it is, but it's not at all. But so this is what I first saw. Specifically this last part. Amazon show intent is to push female Custodes character in Amazon show without it breaking lore, because Amazon execs wanted a woman in power armor and wouldn't settle for Sisters of Battle. People involved in the show are pissed because they've moved ahead on Eisenhorn, a very popular character, and Cavill is threatening to walk off. So, and again, like this is like, if this was just some Twitter post, I would be like, yeah, this is, but Arch is like the face of right-wing Warhammer content, and he does not make videos on things he cannot confirm. So I'm willing to bet that this is like a legitimate thing. It also fits Amazon's MO.
Anybody who tries to make anything on Amazon, you run the risk of them taking over and changing everything and making it completely not what you wanted it to be in the first place. Just like they did with Rings of Power, that they actually fired the person that knew all the lore and everything, the scholar, and they were like, no, we don't like your ideas that are following actual like what Tolkien wanted for his writing. Like, we're gonna do our own thing. And yeah, this is happening again with Amazon just taking over, wanting to do their own.
Just like the Wheel of Time too, the absolute and total destruction of that. I've only read the first book, and it was before I even knew that Amazon was doing live action of it. And then I learned afterwards, and I saw a trailer, and I was furious just from the trailer. I can't even watch like Disparoo's breakdowns of it. The lore that they break from just the first episode, I want to throw things. I
can't. Right? Or Rings of Power?
For Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. Sorry, no, my brain shut. I heard Amazon and my brain shut down.
No,
for
you're
reason.
fine. You're fine.
I'm probably just tired.
But then they have things like the Terminal List, and I just.
Well, because the Terminalist wasn't Amazon, it was made by Chris Pratt, a producer, and then the actual author of the book, who was a Navy SEAL, and then it just got put on Amazon. And I'm noticing the things that Amazon either purchases, like The Expanse, they bought it and they like brought the team over, or things that are sold to them to put on their platform are good, like the Tomorrow War, the Terminalist. But then things they make themselves, Preacher, yeah.
Oh my
things
God,
they make themselves.
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm having like a physical reaction to the
it's okay. I did too.
I'm all, how can like
just duct tape his mouth shut and it's fine.
I was like, how could such a good looking man be so stupid?
Like just keep his mouth shut and it's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Is that like what's the female equivalent of misogyny?
What's it called?
Misandry.
Misandry.
Misandrist of me. Misandrist of me.
Well, we all knew that about you already, GHAL.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, before we start revealing more secrets about everyone on this panel. All right, guys. Well, I think this was a really fantastic show. GHAL, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Fun. I loved all of your takes and laughing along with everything that Devil was revealing about you.
Little jackass.
Yeah. And then Shadow, thank you so much for being here last minute. So cool to have you here and have you back. And then of course, Devil, thank you so much for being here too. I really enjoyed all of your takes. Thanks, guys. And then of course, Dr. Rachel, she's here with us. She has no choice. So
and also she was here for a bit earlier, Sevvy. So thank you. Shout out to Sevvy. I know she's on tabletop now.
Thank you so much for being here. And Smu, thank you so much because Smu does so much for us too. So thank you guys. Yeah. And then so let's just go ahead and go around. Everybody tell us what you've got going on. So Shadow, what's up with you? What's going on?
Not much. Just random streams and videos on my channel. You can check me out on my Coffee page where you'll be able to find original content. You can. When my Twitter account gets unlocked tomorrow, you'll be able to see my bad takes there. And I do. This is about a month or two off, but I will be doing a D&D campaign on my channel. That reminded me. Bi-weekly over on Inside All Day Gaming. There is a D&D stream, 1001 Masks, that I am a player on, and then I am going to be doing a D&D stream on my channels bi-weekly Wednesday nights, starting around mid to end of May, maybe beginning of June, depending on like finals and things like that for a few of the players. More information about that will be getting sent out as things are finalized.
That's awesome. He says not much, and then he has all the things going on.
Just those few things, really.
So, wait, and
I know.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, my brain is just scrambled.
You're good.
And then Devil, what do you got going on?
And right after I'm done on here, I got to go over to Static's channel, finish out his show. Then I've got Ballbusters tomorrow, the pub. After that, And that's pretty much it for the week till next week, and then I'm hopefully back to my regular schedule.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Nice.
being here. And Gal, let everybody know what you've got going on.
Well, thank you again for having me. This was great. It was great to stream with everybody. Tomorrow I will be on hopefully I will be on Iron Oxide's channel for the Rogues Gallery. And then Ballbusters after that on Dermy Wormy's channel, and then Beelzebub on Beelzehub, which is Devil's channel, as he mentioned. I'm kind of busy on Fridays, as you can probably tell. And then on Saturday, Screaming Into the Void on Samuel the Infamous's channel, and Sunday, Horny Elf's channel for Phasmophobia.
Awesome. And everybody here is going to be back again. So, and then of course, Dr. Rachel, our lovely panelist. What's going on?
Well, I feel bad. I'm not doing nearly that much. I'm very slowly building up my own channel, Out of Line Crafting on YouTube. I'm currently, one of my favorite things to do is just take these like $1 kids masks from like Joann's and other craft stores and just transform them. So right now I'm working on one that was like this stupid little monkey with a hat, and I'm transforming it into, those of you who've seen Fallout and know about Fallout, it's the helmet for the power armor.
Oh,
that's gonna be
wait,
so
that's
cool.
T45, right?
Mm-hmm. So trying my best to get it going, but hopefully that video will come out next week on my channel. Otherwise, I'm just working and keeping busy with other kinds of art projects.
That's awesome. Yay. And then, of course, me, I'm also a panelist here on Dames and Dorks. And then before we go, of course, we miss Mags, and she's going to be here next week. Nomi's going to be with us next week as well. Sorry, you guys tuned in, and everyone's like, what the heck is going on? Sorry, guys.
It's just a party, unexpected party.
I know, like Sevvy showed up, everyone showed up. It was a big old party. But everything I've got going on, basically I'll post about it on my Twitter, on my Twix. So Dames and Dorks, we're here every Thursday. Make sure that you're tuning in. And then I'm doing some shorts for the night in Espanol. So just kind of keep an eye there as well. So thank you guys so much for sorry, I'm losing my voice. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Keep a lookout for my Nomi cosplay next time, guys. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.